Hey guys, welcome to Brewstories. I'm here with my friend Andrew from Tonic Thoughts.
It's true.
Very brilliant YouTube, and I think you kind of call it a podcast in a way.
The Tonic Thoughts is not a podcast. Maybe it might be.
It's
one
just
day.
a YouTube motivational.
It's just a YouTube self-development of my own self.
So it's like it's like self-help for yourself.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like people can watch me actually in my growth. That's actually the slogan. Just watch my growth.
Because when I think of self-help, and George Carlin had a thing on this, self-help is like, it's kind of stupid because if you make a self-help book, it's someone else helping you, so it's really not self-help.
Yeah.
But yours is actually self-help because you are literally helping yourself and you're recording everyone do it. So you're actually reinventing.
I'm recording the process, and it's also there's like a way with my style with it. For some reason, I like to call it rap. Like I'm rapping because that's the way.
It seems like it's like you got a little cadence and you have your.
There is like a rhythm and a cadence, but it's also cool because originally before like it became a genre, rapping meant that you were just talking with someone, hashing it out. You were just rapping, and it's cool because I also put beats behind it too, so it's even more.
Yeah,
like, I got a new form of rap.
Right. That's awesome. That's
different.
awesome. That's badass. And then we have Caitlin here.
I thought it was Pickles.
Pickles. You want me to say your name?
I don't care.
I just did. So we have Caitlin. She's just tagging along.
There's nothing cool about me.
She's got 900 messages every morning
on her phone game that she plays. No. What? There's nothing.
That's what you think of me?
No.
Damn.
Well, I think some things of you.
Yeah, I play this game on my phone, and we have a group chat, and I get a lot of fucking messages.
Sounds awesome.
We have anything else going on?
No.
Fuck. Well, fuck. It's simple. Simple's happy.
I was just tagging along to eat tacos, and then I got thrown in this.
Hey, tacos are great. So tacos, you never know where you'll go when you start eating tacos.
I don't know, man. I just don't know.
So
it's a funny thing how the mic has or any like not even the mic, the record button has some kind of like power,
mystical effect over your mind to where you can like
it literally like changes your brainwaves.
It gives you like that mental fog.
I don't know. It's just like you can go from like
so
I know everything. I can do this, spit this whole verse, or I can just like I got all the lines down as soon as like you're in front of the audience, or just it's like the record button is like an imaginary audience that you know. Your brain knows is real. I don't know. I'm just going on.
Well, no. It makes sense because it's like it's like you're being watched by your boss or something almost. It's like you have this feeling that like
someone's standing over your shoulder.
Yeah. It's like someone's breathing over your shoulder.
It's hard to read when someone's standing over your shoulder.
Yeah, it's hard to do anything.
It throws me off
because you're conscious about what's instead of being conscious about what you're trying to be conscious about. You're subconsciously let's just say like you have RAM. A lot of your RAM's dedicated to this.
You have 100 and something bits.
Yeah, your CPU's dedicated to this.
Is what some guy Mihal fucking chicks in my high was saying.
Right.
It's like he like measured it like and it takes just 40 bits just to listen or just to fucking talk, and like the majority of your bits are already taken just by doing something small. I don't know.
Well,
that's a filler word I use.
I guess I could bring up some things that I've been thinking about and then kind of.
Do you edit your podcast at all?
No, not at all.
Nice. I spend hours editing.
I think it's awesome. I think some podcasts are good to not edit. Because
I do too.
I like saying things that I don't like that I go back and I hate because I feel like if I do that and someone hears that and they call me out on it, then I can look at that and be like, man, that is a problem. You know, I realize that sometimes I'll say a lot, like this, that, and I'm like, that sucks. I don't like to do that. And the when you're gonna talk. That's not something I really do.
That's just a filler.
Well, yeah, but it's annoying when people do that, isn't it?
It is. I have and ums.
Kind of.
Mine are fucking.
Did you
and
ever?
It's like and like it goes together. It's just like I'm talking to the and
Did you ever take
or when this guy does that, when I say this, when you do that, it's like.
And then there's one thing that I do where
when I wasn't trying to do it.
It's fucking. See, there's one of my filler words. Fucking.
fucking.
And like, you know what I mean? I say that all the time. You know what I mean?
It's like you're trying to verbally express your pause that you're doing while you think.
It's you saying, hey, I'm messing up, but I'm going to fill this word, and I don't know what else to say, and
right.
There it goes.
Well, actually, there's one thing I do on Brewstories, which has never been a video on it, which we're going to start doing because we just bought a nice camera, a good Logitech. So.
Oh yeah.
It's like a.
I didn't know Logitech made cameras.
It's a little webcam, but it's a 1080p.
That makes sense then.
It's a 1080p, webcam, and it's solid. Yeah. It's solid, man. We checked it out. We haven't used it yet. We just got it yesterday, and we got some boom mics and stands and stuff. But we introduced the beer, and we're drinking a Boulevard Tropical Pale Ale.
That's true. I fucking cut off the intro somehow.
Right. Hey, it's fine.
You went from your intro
it's not a big deal.
To this to that.
Because this could be. It's really. I've cut my own intros off, and I'll start just spouting off random shit while I'm trying to do an intro. But yeah, Boulevard Tropical Pale Ale, and I don't know how extensive, where you can find this at exactly. The distribution of this is, but it's very tasty. It's 5.9%. I wouldn't, just have one or two of these. I wouldn't drink a whole 6-pack.
I wouldn't drink any of them.
Driving, Marcy's getting upset.
I put it on the ground.
Oh, she's like, "Come on, love me." And we have a medium dog.
Yeah, medium, not
miniature. A medium Dalmatian in the room, and she's one of the liver ones, right?
Liver side, yeah.
That's.
Oh, Marsha.
So
something's wrong.
Marsha,
she wants something.
Marsha.
She doesn't growl at me like that. Oh, get out of my face.
Oh, you just. What do you want?
She wants my tacos.
Oh, probably.
She has food upstairs.
You have food, dog.
Yeah.
Well, while you were gone, he said, it's time for her to eat food, and
Marsha,
she got excited.
It's time.
You gotta go outside? No, you just want... She hates it when I'm not giving her attention.
Oh, she just wants the attention.
Yeah.
Well, so...
I've realized that happens sometimes.
Little puppy. You're a sweet puppy. That's a good dog, though.
Yeah, she is a good dog.
That's a good dog.
Right, down. You gotta go, Marsha. You gotta go.
I was petting you. Come back.
Go over there. Go over there.
Good, go on. All right, so...
come here.
So we'll get into...
She doesn't like me. Let's
think about what's going on. Is there anything you're interested in right now? Let's just start with meditation.
Yeah.
It's a perfect thing to start with because we're both meditating.
I have this thing that I'm doing. I don't know if you've seen the 5 habits I'm going to be doing every day. It's I made it up. Like, I didn't make it up, but it's a bunch of things 5 things that I'm going to do every day because I wanted to do something every day that adds to my growth, especially for the channel, but also definitely for myself. And I was like, each thing that I'm doing will help me grow in different ways. Like, it's called Germ 10. Like, J, it starts with a J.
Okay.
Germ with a J. JERM, and then 10. And those are 5 different things. And the J stands for journaling.
Did you make this up?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a little routine that I'm going through. But, like, there's, like, I've got parts of it from other things, though. And, I took Tim Ferriss. He has this journaling thing where, like... He says journal, just make it a thing to journal for 5 minutes a day, and that way, like, it doesn't become too, like, I'm gonna, like, fill out 10 pages. Just do it for 5 minutes, and usually you find that you'll go farther than that, but you'll feel satisfied because your goal was only to have a little. And you
surpass that goal.
And like for the first month, I'm gonna have like these small numbers on each one of these tasks, and every month I'm gonna increase it a little bit, like by like 5 minutes. So next month I'll be doing 10-minute journals, and that way I'm slowly building it, because after a month of doing it for 5 minutes, doing it for 10 minutes next month won't be that hard. But that's just the first one. The germ is journaling for 5 minutes the first month, and then exercising for 10 minutes. And like, it's not just like exercising, it's like constant movement, like move for 3 minutes, like run for 3 minutes straight, non-stop. And then once I get tired of that, like start doing like push-ups or sit-ups, and I can't stop moving for 10 minutes straight. I set the timer and it goes for 10 minutes. And like that just gets exercising out of the day.
That's
because
I
have a problem like with exercising. There's a lot of people that do, like, I don't do it consistently every day, and this is something, doing it 10 minutes every day is way better than what I was doing it.
Hey, doing it for 10 minutes every day is 10 times more than what you're 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 times more than what I was doing.
10 times more minutes than what you were doing before.
In 8 months, I'll be doing it for like 40 minutes a day. You know,
right?
Because I'm going to be increasing it by 5 minutes.
Yeah, once you're at, I think the like recommended, the government recommended guidelines for exercise is what, like 15, 30 minutes, something like that a day.
See, I don't even know.
I mean, but it's like, it's that's funny that you said the 10 minutes a day. It starts at a small goal.
Yeah.
When you start lifting weights, you start small. You start smaller than what you think you should.
Definitely way, yeah.
Yeah, and then like, let's say I know I can bench 185. Well, I'm not gonna start doing 185. I'm gonna start at 115. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get used to the form. Get used to being, doing the exercise. My fitness, I'm not gonna get super worn out doing that, and then you build yourself up every week. You just
the main part
small increments.
It's psychology. The main part is the psychology, because you can want to do this and have these goals, But if you're not going to prepare yourself to be doing it every single day, then you're setting yourself up for failure, I think. And yeah, with this germ, I'm gonna finish off the other 3 things because I only said the first 2. And then the R is for reading for 20 minutes a day at least. Like I'm starting it off 20 minutes a day and like gonna add 5 minutes to it every month. And like that's better than what I usually do because I don't read that much, but I want to read more. So I'm like it's journaling, exercise, reading, meditating, and then eating within a 10-hour time frame. And each one of these things will serve a different purpose, as I feel. And I'll just grow with it, like doing it. Like all of these things, like they start out with just like if you total all the times for all of these that I have this first month, it's just 40 minutes, and like I can do all 5 of these things, feel accomplished within 40 minutes, like, and then that's just like not even like my main goals. That's just like the things that I'm trying to like the basics. It's like the fucking Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like if I have these basics down, the basics will allow me to grow. Like it's like the hierarchy of needs for growth instead of like the higher. Like, I don't know.
That's it. No, that's cool. I never really thought about doing a. That's a very in-depth system that I never really thought of, and I kind of do it myself, but I don't do it that. I don't like. The structure of it is something that's nice.
You should see the fucking calendar.
The structure. The structure is awesome. That's really cool.
I have a calendar for it too. I'm gonna step out of the room and.
Do you have anything like that? Like any kind of structured...
ambition? No.
Any structured ambition?
That's something. It's funny because that's something I hear a lot. Is the word ambitious? People are like, "You're ambitious."
No, it's very ambitious.
No, like I set goals for myself, but I feel like I don't start small enough. I expect too much out of myself, and then I get nowhere.
But if you expect too much and you fail, then you just give up.
If you go over to Tonic Thoughts, or what's your YouTube?
Well, my YouTube is Nicholas Stobic, which I think it's www.youtube.com/thestobes. No, is it channel? Well, you can actually just go to www.youtube.com/THESTOEB as in boy O, or B as in boy Z. So the Stobes. Yeah, and you don't have to put the channel.
No, you can just type it in the search bar and then it'll
pop
up.
Or if you go to the search bar, you just type in.
If you're on the top for the Stobes.
Well, it's hard to.
He's the only one.
No, I am. It's really hard to like. I'll say it again.
Sure.
It's THESTOEBZ, and if you search for that, you'll find my channel. It's Nicholas Stobic right now, but I'm just. It's so many different things I do on there that it's hard to come up with a title for it. So I'm just gonna use my own name.
That's what a lot of people do. I've noticed.
Right.
But if you go to any of those channels, you will be able to see what I am displaying right now, which is my calendar. It's a dry erase calendar, and the germ is right here, and I'll mark it off. And look,
And you've been doing it already, so you've already actively.
Yeah, and like this is gonna show progress. I'm gonna put it. My channel has like this monthly progress video that I'm gonna be doing once a month. Hey, she doesn't like that.
I didn't do it on purpose.
I
tried to not do it. I was looking at you.
Okay.
I just didn't want to like.
She made it seem like you did it on purpose.
No, I didn't. I was actually thought it was interesting. You just a side note. You draw your sevens like I do.
Yeah, I put the little.
Yeah, I do that too.
It looks a lot cooler.
Not many people do that, so props on that one.
Fuck yeah, but.
And you make your A's like a girl.
Oh, do you? Let me see.
I got that. I used to make him not like a girl, but then my sister did him like that, and I was like,
I don't do those.
They look cool though.
I thought they looked better like that.
No, they look cool, but I definitely don't do that.
I used to just not do it at all like that.
I do the little.
Now I can't do it otherwise.
Whoop, I did a little the swoopy thing.
I used to add a loop on my twos too.
Oh really?
Actually, I used to be regular non-loop.
I do
and
this.
Then I switched it to loop, and then I was like, "Fuck the loop."
I kind of do my twos. I come down like this, and then I go like that on my twos. You know what I mean? So you come down, and then you come like that.
Ooh.
Oh, like a little tail that flips up.
Yeah.
That's how I do my twos. It's kind of like a wave at the bottom, like this.
That's cool.
I think that's kind of, but we're interrupting your tracking.
No,
sheet.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was just like
your DPTS.
I got my little key for anyone else that wants to just look at this and see it. But I've been failing. Like this is the night I partied too hard last weekend.
I partied just a little too hard.
That explains it.
Yeah. And then it affected the next days. It's crazy because I was doing good, and that one day kind of traced off and kind of slowly fucked up shit.
And you know what's funny? I don't know let me see that real quick. I'm gonna show it to my camera just so everyone can see every angle of it.
See it.
So if you guys want to look at this really quick, this is the little journal. He has the calendar journal, which is I think that's badass when you have something like that.
This will help you stay motivated. Like I would have forgot. Like I said
love
this like
planning.
a week ago.
I need to do that.
Track it, if you don't track what you're doing, you're gonna fucking fall off. Or you're not gonna cause if you're not tracking, it's also showing you're not as dedicated as you could.
For sure, for real, yeah, and
Let me put this up.
But I thought it was interesting.
I'm gonna make graphs out of this too. Sorry.
What was I talking about? Okay, I know what I was talking about. I'll keep that thought in my head.
You keep that thought in your head.
Oh. Suggestive.
Of what?
I
There's
don't
something in my eye.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Like you probably having a stroke. Okay, so what
Check out this art piece.
I was about to
I'm
ask.
interrupting you
beautiful.
again. It's taken 3 years to make.
It's very.
It's a canvas that's just been around for 3 years.
It's been scratched around. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's actually really interesting.
It's real art.
No, to really think about it, that's actually kind of cool. Because
that's what I was thinking.
No, that's actually pretty cool. It's actually weathered the environment.
It's been around.
Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah.
It literally shows.
It's been thrown in boxes, whatever.
Okay, this guy named Jordan Peterson, who I've been definitely into lately. I don't know if you've heard of him.
You told me about him. I looked him up.
He's fantastic. He's very
well,
brilliant.
You didn't tell me about him. You said some guy named Jordan Peterson, or maybe it was someone else you were talking about. But I said Viktor Frankl, and I think that's who you said.
That's when I did. Yep,
Okay, yeah.
exactly. That's what. Yeah.
Viktor Frankl is actually a fucking psychologist too.
Is he?
He's actually pretty well renowned. I've seen him after I've seen his name once. I started seeing him quoted in like different books.
Really?
Like, he was in the Holocaust. Like he actually suffered through all like the pain and stuff.
Really?
Like, and that's why he was like writing this book. Like he's saying like I was in the Holocaust. They killed my pregnant wife.
Really? That's so interesting. He reminds me a lot of Alexander Solzhenitsyn then, that wrote the Gulag Archipelago. Archipelago.
I don't know what that is actually.
It's it's about the Soviet death camps. Or you want to call them whatever you want to call them. They were death camps.
Soviets had death camps?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You didn't know about that?
Nah, I actually
Dude,
don't know much about
From like 1918 to like the late 1960s, I believe. I could be completely. I know 1918 is when it mainly started, but they had and they you know why that you don't know about them is because they were so fucked up. They would take people. This is as easy as it was to get arrested to go into a death camp. Someone would say they saw you. They heard you say something that they thought was weird. They would arrest you at night. Usually they would come at night and grab you out of your house, take you to this jail, and they would interrogate you, and they would do some, I'm not going to go into all the methods of interrogation, but they would do stuff so fucked up that they would basically force you to admit that you did things that you didn't actually do, because they would keep you there, and they would torture you until you admitted that.
We kind of do that in a sense with our law system.
Not like this.
Yeah,
Dude,
kind
read
of. That's
that.
why I said kind of. Yes.
Oh, dude, no. Read this book. It's so crazy. They would stick, like, needles under your fingertips. Like, oh, dude.
Oh, like, they were not this at all.
Oh, no. They would torture you. Yeah, and so they would get you to confess things that you didn't actually do. And they would also threaten you with your family members, saying that they already arrested them and that they're already going to go to jail if you don't confess.
Why?
They would force you.
What was the point of it?
You know what? I think it's just to show that they have power. I don't know. I can't honestly look at it and say that this is why they did it, because it's hard to understand why someone would do that, because a lot of things they did were counterproductive. But it was easy as just saying, I saw him do something weird, or in this case of Alexander Solzhenitsyn, he had a cigarette box that another guy liked, and he was a general. He wasn't a general. He was an officer.
You could just get people fucking killed if you don't like him.
He became they were called the Organs. He became a member of the Organs, which ran the death camps pretty much. They actually did all the intakes and everything. And he said, "Hey, I like this 10. He needs to come in, And that's from what I understand. So let's get into meditation.
Yeah. Look up Stoicism. That goes into meditation.
How do you?
Sorry,
Hold
I'm
on.
not trying to tell you what to do.
No, you're cool.
Okay.
No, just tell her what to do. So my meditation I've been doing.
Yeah, there's different techniques, and the most popular one is like I actually taught people how to technique last week when I was partying.
Yeah,
really hardcore.
This is my knowledge. This is my knowledge of what Stoicism is: the endurance of pain or hardship without a display of feelings and without complaint. So, like most men do, anyway.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense.
Really?
I mean, really.
You think?
Yeah, that's a masculine thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
It really is.
But it can be a feminine thing.
I mean, you can.
It's not a feminine thing.
No, but
women
can use the masculine trait.
Yeah.
It's not saying that women can't be stoic. Well, a lot of women. Look at the Great Depression. Pictures of the Great Depression. The women there.
That chick, she was like.
Oh, they're stoic as fuck, man.
She was like, I'm sad.
She's like, hey, I'm a
Just keep your mouth
feminist.
shut.
I'm a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
Continuing to keep my mouth shut.
It's feminist.
No, I want you to talk. That's what you should do.
Well, you're not even like looking at my face.
I just got done looking at your face for a lot
camera's
longer
looking
than
at your face.
I know.
I got done looking at your face for a lot longer than I'd usually look at someone's face.
You should look at faces more.
My face isn't that
I don't
bad
like
looking.
faces.
You gotta get into.
I don't like me. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Oh my.
I don't like faces. I hate faces.
I know they just have so much emotion attached to them.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
I don't need any of that bullshit. A lot of people think that because I don't necessarily show a lot of emotion, that I don't have a lot of emotion. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or
Hi, baby.
what's a better way to say it?
You're the opposite of Dexter.
So
Well,
you're
no,
a
Dexter.
sociopath.
Dexter's not a sociopath.
Yeah, I know. We actually had that conversation.
Yeah,
on
we
my
did
last
have
episode.
that. Yeah, Dexter's
Or my
not a
last
sociopath.
podcast.
Not by definition, he's not a sociopath because he had feelings and remorse about some of the things he did.
A lot.
What, when he killed a guy that wasn't actually a bad guy?
Yeah, that's.
Or
Because
any
he
people
had a
around him
moral.
that died.
He had a code.
But that means he's not a sociopath.
He only felt bad because he killed the
No,
wrong guy. He didn't
no.
feel.
My theory is that he was
No.
raised to believe that, and it was all put in his
He
head.
was raised to believe that he didn't have morals, that he didn't actually have these morals.
Because he killed a cat or something.
Right, but a sociopath has no remorse, has no feeling. They want what they want, and if they can get that, no matter what the means, they don't have regrets about it.
I think he did have some. He did show those traits in certain aspects.
Well, I mean, he would do things and not have feeling about it, but there's no way he's a sociopath because he would have no remorse. You can't just choose when you're a sociopath. You were always a sociopath.
But he wouldn't
or
have
you are-
remorse when he killed the people that did stuff,
What do you mean?
like the people that he felt that deserved it.
No, not true. If
He
you're
did have remorse with that.
well, people that did things,
He
he
felt
didn't.
relief.
But you can't
and
just pick and choose when
satisfaction.
you're a sociopath. A sociopath is a very absolute thing. If
Mhm.
you're a sociopath, you will not have remorse. You don't. You're almost not capable of empathy.
But what if there's a level of it where there's
Well,
it's
then
not, it's not that you're picking choosing.
then
it's
then
that the way that you're viewing things.
then it could be a what do they call it? They call it social.
Semi-social.
It's a disorder. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's not a sociopath. Sociopath is very absolute and it's very detached. You have no empathy. That's what being a sociopath is.
And sociopath is
And same as a
Incapable.
psychopath in a way, but a psychopath has uncontrollable desires, like to where like let's put it this way: a sociopath, if they had the choice, like, hey, you're falling off a cliff, but they know if you fall off that cliff, they get your money somehow. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you left them in their will, the person left them in their will, and if they fell off, they'd get their money. They would not help them. And they just
Not all sociopaths are serial killers.
Huh?
Do you say socio or psycho?
I didn't say that. I didn't say all sociopaths.
No, like you can be a sociopath and have every trait without ever causing harm to another person. In the sense
Not
of,
realistically. Not really. Because if you're a sociopath, you don't consider other people's feelings. You're good at faking that, but you can't keep that facade up for indefinitely because someone's going to find out because you have no compassion about what someone else thinks.
I think I have problems with considering other people's feelings, but the fact that I know that I have problems with
But if you've ever had a feeling of remorse for doing something,
all the time.
and
Dude, the first time I ever punched someone, it was like I was in 4th grade, and me and my cousin and my brother lured this kid because he snitched on us or whatever. Like we used to trade Pokemon cards back then. Like that's how long ago it was. And
so
like,
late 90s probably.
Early
Mid
2000s, late
90s.
90s,
Something
maybe.
like that.
And we lured him down to this place where our treehouse was, and he thought like he was coming down there to kick it or something, and like we just set it up to where I just punched him, and I punched him in the face, and he just ran off crying, and he just ran off and he didn't like fucking.
Where's your button?
Say anything. I just hit him and he turned around and ran the other way. And like I felt so bad about that. Like I've actually like told this story before. Like it's actually stuck with me. Like
But you still feel bad about it.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
then
it
you're
was
definitely
horrible.
not a
because
socio.
we set him up and fucking like I think that's what was the problem.
Look up,
problem with it because
look
there's
up-
difference between fighting someone and then fucking
Not
setting
bugs.
I
someone
didn't
up.
mean to do
Like,
that. I meant to click on the.
like that
search
that might be it's like a double-edged sword.
No,
Like,
I know what.
setting someone up is kind of a sociopathic trait, but then like
Well,
feeling remorse.
No, not really.
I don't know what sociopath means.
I
when
do.
I say that.
Sociopath.
And they lack empathy, and
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still in.
It's
When
almost.
I say that,
it is
but what I mean is
almost-
like it's crazy because
It is almost synonymous as far as the DSM.
Oh, antisocial personality disorder is what you were thinking of, I think.
That
I think a psychopathic
yeah.
trait would be more like setting people
No,
up.
sociopaths and psychopaths are almost the same. Anti-personality disorder, you can have empathy, but a sociopath does not have.
They lack a conscience.
Yeah, there you go. So they don't care what they do to you. If I, have you ever? Okay, So if you went to the store,
they have less activity in their prefrontal cortexes.
Listen to this. All right. So if you went to the store, right? Someone in front of you bought something, right? But whatever it is, beer. Let's say they got a 20 rack of Miller Lite. Why the fuck they'd buy that, I have no idea. But they dropped
bottles
while they were getting their wallet. They dropped to 50. If you saw that 50 hit the ground, would you just take that and walk off and feel fine?
That's a hard
if
question.
They didn't know about it, if no one knew about it.
I've actually replied to questions like this, and at certain times in my life, like, I was like, oh yeah, if I found a wallet with $20, I'd return it to the person. But certain times of your life, I mean, sometimes it depends on what you're going through.
But if there's certain times, these things don't just pick and choose when they exist. You know what I mean? It's not like something, it's nested in you. It's not something that can just...
It could be nested in you, but like...
Well, as far as being a sociopath, it can't be. It is absolute.
What about this question?
Because it is a disorder. It's something you can't control.
If the person that dropped the money you knew was broke, would you do it? Or if the same, or if that's one person and another person came by and you knew had $1 billion and he came by and dropped $50.
Well, by doing that, you're kind of proving my point because you're morally looking at it.
Yeah.
And if you're even doing that, then you aren't a sociopath.
Well, I see it. I don't know if I am.
No, you're not. You're not. I know you're not. Just by talking to you, because you would not.
You should see me on acid.
Well, I mean, maybe some things could, but sociopaths are very specific. Sociopaths and psychopaths. Now, psychopaths, they go into like uncontrollable fits of like, they will go out and do whatever they want. Like no matter, they don't give a fuck about laws. Cops, they don't give a shit about that.
I've been that way.
They will go
on
kill. They will go on.
Being a kid's different, I guess.
Well, yeah, but you're not a socio-psychopath.
Yeah.
Like I can very confidently say that you're not a socio-psychopath.
I'm just really good.
Because I believe that, like for me, could you take something from me and not feel bad about it?
I don't think I could.
Well, if you don't think you could, then you're probably not a sociopath. Because like if you,
I feel bad about the stupidest shit. It's retarded.
Like, could you?
I felt bad because my brother took my scooter for Christmas once. And I felt bad about getting it back.
Could you kill your dog?
It was already mine.
Could you kill your dog and feel fine?
No, I couldn't.
Okay, then you're not a sociopath.
Couldn't do that.
You couldn't. So.
I think you mean psychopath.
It's both. They're almost synonymous.
In my mind, for a while, I actually one time defined the two. I was like, "What the fuck?"
They're almost interchangeable.
People throw them out as if they're interchangeable.
I think a psychopath is more prone to displaying the violent.
Well, exactly,
behavior.
but they both have the same mindset. The psychopaths are just more active in their mindset, and in actually pursuing what they want.
They
a sociopath will take chances. A sociopath will wait for a chance to do something. They won't go search for it, but if they see a chance for doing something, they'll seize the only thing that halts a sociopath are laws. A psychopath gives no fucks about repercussions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if a sociopath, like I said, waited for someone to drop money, well, let's just say a psychopath would see that guy with a wallet, kill that motherfucker in the middle of the street, and take his money. That's the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. I'm pretty confident. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident about that.
It's the way. It's actually fucking crazy how the way you know someone and a stranger can change your perspective of how you act towards them for a lot of people in the world.
Well, because you have no emotional connection to some people.
Yeah, and it's insane. Like, you can actually, they do that in movies. Like, they'll kill off a character that they intentionally brought into the fucking, they made you have connections for it. Mm-hmm. Like, if they want you to feel that character's death, they'll actually
Right. Even a bad guy, they can make you feel for the bad guy.
Yeah, they can, depending on how they
can make
up.
the bad guy seem like a good guy.
And
or they can
have
make
a lot of things to do with
they can make the good guy seem like a bad guy. Like an anti-hero almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking Dexter was all about that anti-hero.
He's definitely an anti-hero. Yeah. I mean, how do you feel? Here's a really good one. Walter White.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Walter White? That's a hard one.
I don't like him.
It's hard to like him, but it's also, you can see how he turned out to be like that.
Selling meth because he had cancer and couldn't afford.
And he needed a lot of money, and then he got power hungry.
There's other things you can do for a lot.
You know, and it follows. Well, it also follows that Walter White's story follows that old saying, which I don't know who said it. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, because the more power he gets, the more corrupt Walter White gets. But that's not inherent in him.
Come on.
It's as humans in general. The more power you give someone, the more corrupt they become.
It's crazy.
It's true.
Look at Miley Cyrus.
Because they push the boundaries of what they can do safely. You know what I mean? So they get more corrupt as they get more power.
You know about PewDiePie, right?
That YouTube guy.
The biggest YouTube. YouTuber.
Is he the biggest YouTuber or just the biggest YouTube gamer?
That's funny
He's the
because
biggest
I've never
YouTuber.
seen a single video.
Like someone has like 20 million subscribers.
I know who he is. He's that little. He's a Swedish guy.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, Swedish, and
little annoying fucker.
He has 53 million fucking views.
Good
insane.
for him. Good for him.
It's
How
insane.
many of those views are from
not
children?
Views. He has 53 million fucking
His name is
subscribers.
children, so.
Subscribers, like
No,
the person that's under him has only like 20 million. Like he's really
he's
like
huge.
The way he's trumping everything. But something recently happened with him in the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal fucking like attacked him on being a fucking Jew, a fucking anti-Semitic when he's definitely just a comedian. Like he made some jokes. Like he had some people on Fiverr hold up fucking signs that all the Jews for $5 just because they would do it, and fucking
just to do it.
And like he also had another video where he was sitting and he was literally saying the media takes my shit out of context in this, and he was like dressing up as a Nazi, and they literally took that out of context
of that video.
Yeah. And then
you know what?
And like,
Whether
Disney dropped him because of this. Wall Street
Dude,
Journal
that's
published
horrible.
this.
That's
Disney
fucked
dropped
up.
him. Fucking.
That's fucked up. I don't like PewDiePie.
The whole YouTube community was pissed about it.
I don't like PewDiePie, right? I don't like him at all because he's annoying.
But freedom of speech.
But it's not that I don't like him because as a person. I just don't like his content. It sucks. I think it sucks. But
at first I did, but then I got drawn into it. It's fucking crazy.
I'm not his demographic.
I'm not either.
But I respect what he does, and I support his right to do it. And I'm not gonna hate on him for making his money, dude. Make your fucking money. You found your niche, man. I wish I could do that shit. So I'm not gonna hate on the guy. But
he not only found his niche, he basically created the gaming niche. Like,
it
wasn't around
he didn't
before
create it. He didn't create it. That's not true.
He popularized it.
He did. He may have. Yeah, he definitely did popularize it. But it's not. He followed the path of other people that did not do as successful as he did. Now, why did he do so well? Could be timing.
He stayed consistent with it.
It could be consistency. It could be timing. It could be just luck. Even though I don't really believe in luck, but luck is a chance. It could be all those things combined. We don't know what it is.
Is his channel really PG?
Usually, what'd you say?
Is his channel really PG, or does he like?
It
use
probably
foul
is
language?
PG. I've never heard him.
YouTube did drop him from their channel. Their advertising for YouTube Red's family friendly advertising.
Because of this thing you're talking about.
Yeah, because of that.
Because like my daughter watches a lot of YouTubers.
Now he's annoying as a motherfucker.
He can be, and I feel like I display a lot of the things he does because I'm annoying a lot.
But
my video that I was going to record today was about how to be less annoying.
You know what he does? You know what? This is like the Trump effect. If you are a certain way, you're already going to have people that hate you no matter what.
Yeah.
You're already going to have people that like you no matter what. So just accentuate what you're doing. Don't become someone fake.
And also, he has so many videos. He puts out like 3, sometimes 3 a day.
Well, that's his job, yeah.
Yeah, and like
and if he stops, he will die quickly. That's why he keeps doing it.
And he puts out 1 a day, 3 a day, whatever.
It's a fine line.
But he actually does. At first, I've seen some things, and I was like, only because he was so big. But then I subscribe to anyone that's like anything on there just to learn from him. And like I started like following more of his content and like watching it, and like he has some kind of allure that fucking drew me in. Someone that didn't really like him.
It's the passion.
I didn't even like him at first.
It's the passion he
has.
And
he's actually fucking funny. Like,
well. That's a subjective thing.
That is subjective.
I don't find him funny.
Do you find Louis C.K. funny?
Yeah.
He's like on opposite spectrum in a way, but like.
Yeah.
But like,
I love Louis C.K.
I love different kinds of comedy, and like.
See, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain videos like you should look up the videos where he's playing video games.
Oh, I've watched quite a few. The last one I watched of his, he played Gang Beasts, and I want to play that game badly, but.
He played this fucking Japanese gang where there's just all fucking. It's for like, it has a safe mode for like when your girlfriend comes around, but it's like basically pornographic, and you shoot fucking things at these girls, these Japanese girls in skirts, and it's like a first-person shooter, and you shoot them with stuff. You don't shoot them with guns. You shoot them with like.
Looks like semen or something.
I don't know. It's weird.
That's what you're trying to. That's what I'm thinking.
He plays some fucking weird ass games, dude.
Well, that's weird. That's very strange. I've never.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Well, yeah, but
it's probably.
But
you're still
he's
talking about the same guy.
Yeah.
That's probably why I don't let my kids watch.
But he should not. He should not be.
Most of his probably fan base is kids.
Well, yeah, that's his demographic is younger teens and older.
My kids like the Diamond Mine
around
Cart.
my age.
Probably 10 to 15, probably his demographic.
I'd say 14.
I don't think
to 24.
I don't know about that. Yours or
no.
his? I would not go into
mine is 18 to 24 males.
I would not go in. I would not go into the 20s with him. That's not what he's aimed at. Not that you can't like it, but that's not what he's aimed at.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I would not say that.
I don't know.
But
he's my age, and
I've also found that people like you and I that are more open.
I think he's like that a lot too.
Like,
he just doesn't come off on camera.
Well, people like you and I that are more open, we can enjoy things that aren't our demographic. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Yeah, I enjoy so much crazy things.
Like, I enjoy... have you ever watched Filthy Frank?
I never heard of it.
Okay, he makes some ridiculous shit, and it seems like he's a complete moron. He's an Australian, Asian, white guy. Very hard to describe. He makes really offensive content, just like iDubbbz, if you ever see iDubbbz TV.
There's the Amazing Atheist, or the Amazing Racist.
Oh, that's a comedian. His name is... he's a Jewish comedian. He's on Joe Rogan's show sometimes. He's...
Nice.
Ari Shaffir? That's his name. I think it's Ari Shaffir.
I submitted a guitar thing to him once for his podcast.
Oh, did you?
My friend told me he has his own podcast.
I'm pretty sure that's Amazing.
And he told me to submit that to him. And
I'm pretty sure it's Ari Shaffir.
It was some bullshit. I'm not even that good at guitar, but like I just like might as well.
Hey, fuck it. Why not? If you never try, you never know if you're.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you got it, just like playing the lottery. But I don't play the lottery because the astronomical chances.
I've got
of winning.
10 tickets.
You do?
In my car.
You gamble?
No, not at all. I never played, but they're actually literally $1 lottery tickets. It's not the Powerball or anything, but
they're still gambling.
Yeah, and I spent $1 like a week ago, and it gave me like $4.
You're like that guy that sits down at the $5 blackjack table instead of the $100.
I don't even go to the fucking card tables.
Well, you know what I mean, but it's like instead of going for the $100,
my friend just lost $700 at the fucking casino the other week.
Instead of going to the penny slot, instead of going to the quarter slots, you go to the penny slots.
I won $40 at a penny slot once on my birthday.
That doesn't mean you can't win, but I've also won a lot more at a quarter slot than you win at a penny slot.
I walked into a casino with no money, and Sarah gave me $5, and I walked out with no money because I spent it on alcohol.
You had no money.
No, I spent all the money I won. I spent on alcohol and birthday cake.
But yeah, I got that $4 ticket like a week later, and then I just scratched them off. I bought all tickets with that $1 from those $4, and I scratched them all off, those 4 tickets, and now I have like $11 worth of tickets. I can get 11 more tickets from that $1.
Really?
I'm thinking about getting 11 tickets with all of that, or just cashing it in.
7:33.
I just checking the time real quick. 7:30. I'm gonna get out here at like 8, so we got 30 minutes.
8, never late. Okay, you guys ready for the next segment?
Are you gonna come by?
You ready for the next segment?
You gonna come by?
No.
You're not?
No,
you douche.
No, I might. I mean, for real, I don't think I
if you don't have any plans, man, stop by.
I kind of did, but like, I mean, I didn't though. Like, it is the thing that might happen.
Well,
so I don't want to fucking rely on something that might happen.
Well, if you don't do the other thing, you're welcome to come by.
Fuck yeah.
I did the GPS 15 minutes away, so.
Nice.
Okay, so the next segment.
Let me pee. That's my next segment.
Then we're gonna watch you pee. Everyone follow Andrew. Let's get those cameras moving.
Robotic.
So what do you think?
What?
You have input.
I do, but at the same time,
you don't care.
It's not that I don't care.
Is it you don't care?
No, I really wanted a coffee, and you got beer.
Are you still talking about the coffee? I owe you nothing. I got you tacos. You said all you wanted was tacos. Now all you want is coffee. What's next? All you want is a house and a dog.
We have cats.
Yeah. Who's we?
I have cats. You have cats.
Yeah. We're gonna combine our cats. We'll be the king of the pussy, or the kings. Of
I knew you were gonna make a pussy joke. The pussy brigade.
The kings. Well, you're not a guy.
I can still be a fucking king.
No, you can't.
I could.
No, you can't.
I can be whatever I want. It's a title.
But you don't got a dick. You can't spread your royal.
Okay.
You can grow a dick like a chia pet. Just fucking.
2017. Why not?
I mean, they can 3D. They can probably 3D print you a dick.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, dude. You can literally grow it with the 3D print.
And then you can shove it in your.
I don't need.
Or you can stem cell grow it
to be a king.
Stem cell grow it. You need a penis to be a king.
They do those vats now. Where
you're gonna be a queen.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it and we're gonna read it in the dictionary.
It's
a requirement to be a king involves having a penis.
A king is male. King is being male.
Male requires penis.
I can be a king.
We're going biologically here. We're not going by.
Yeah, do you want to read my bio book? Biopic.
Your
I have a biopic.
Where?
No.
I was just saying.
All right, next segment.
What are we doing?
We're about to freestyle. Just kidding. We're not about to freestyle.
Oh shit! I was like, all right, I gotta get ready for this.
All right,
shit.
let's get it
I've
up.
never freestyled on camera.
We call this segment the 1, 2, 3 beats.
How does that work?
Make a beat.
1, 2, 3. Hold on, let me get this going.
Can you rhyme?
I mean, I can, but I don't know if I've ever done it on camera.
That's not the next segment. Oh, I've rhymed on camera before.
I have. I have, but not on.
I was on BET.
Oh, I bet you were.
Yes.
I thought you were on white entertainment television. That would be an extremely racist, wouldn't it? That's what it seemed like.
It'd be like
sounds like a pornography.
Well, you know what I think of? Like it's like the difference between the Black Lives Matter and KKK. They're both racist ideology.
You do not just compare Black Lives Matter with KKK.
They are.
They're the same thing.
Not exactly, but in the current world they are.
Do you mean Black Panthers?
How are they in the current world?
Because look at the Black Lives Matter movement.
What did they do? I don't know the movement. I don't.
Extreme riots.
I literally stay away from that shit.
You look at the Berkeley riots,
and it's annoying.
Well, and I'm not saying that I hate that I don't think Black Lives Matter.
It's
not
the
what
people
I'm
that's the whole reason
Black
they
Lives
fucking
Matter,
labeled it
but then
that.
they turn around and they're the ones doing the bullshit.
Well, it's these people that they want equality, but really what it is, they subscribe to it's almost like it's an extremely left view. I don't know what you are, if you're liberal or conservative. I'm an independent, so I'm kind of like floating in the middle somewhere. And but they think that.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm independent.
What does that mean?
I pick and choose from whatever.
You can float in the middle. I'm gonna float above.
I mean, but then you're not taking part. You're just observing. Mm-hmm. So I like to be right in the middle.
That really made sense. Floating above is observing.
Yeah, right. But I like to be in the action. Yeah. So maybe I'm a guy on stilts in the middle. So I don't
even float above. I float above, but sometimes I look.
So you got like a zip line.
I look above, like away from it.
Like astral project your politics.
Oh my!
I'm in space usually.
Now when I say that Black Lives Matter is like the KKK, I don't mean they're going out lynching people, and I'm not saying that the KKK is a good organization, and I don't want people to think that I'm saying that because I'm not. I don't agree with.
It's good you're explaining what you're saying because.
Well, yeah.
When you first say that, like they really to me, from my view, seem incomparable.
Well, to me they seem very comparable because.
Well, you can actually make anything comparable.
Well, this is very comparable because when you have people militantly, they are asking people to punch Nazis. And
are they? I didn't know they were doing that.
Yes, and you know what a Nazi is? You know, how do you define a Nazi?
Is that why that one guy got punched?
Yeah, well, let's just say like.
Is this based off of that one video of that one guy getting punched? Because I only seen that and I had no idea what the fuck it was about. I literally had to look into what the fuck it was about.
Let's say like the Michael Brown killing. Now, some of these killings of the police officers they're wrong. They're completely wrong, right? But some that they do, like I believe Michael Brown was the one that had his hand. They said he had his hands up and he was running and he shot him. That's not true at all. He tried to take the officer's gun, punched him in the face multiple times, and got shot.
It's fucked up that it gets misconstrued that way.
It's fucked up that people think that the cop was just like, I'm gonna have a heyday and start killing people. Like it's
the media has a lot to do with the way people view everything.
And the media is heavily slanted.
Well, yeah,
towards
because
the
media is what everyone sees that wasn't actually there.
Well, and people do not.
And the media gets it wrong most of the time.
Most people don't research what they believe in. They just hear something, they start subscribing to an ideology. And they adhere to that no matter what. So no matter what they tell them after that, they believe that because it's an echo chamber for what they already believe. And then they're stuck.
They hear it from a trusted source.
Right. And you know what's scary about that is if you've read the Gulag
Sometimes when you follow the masses, the M is silent.
Acid.
Right.
I think I just winked like Nick.
You winked like
did
you? Well, okay. Well, you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
When you start following an ideology, and these people are doing that, and I'm not trying to make this is what Jordan Peterson is kind of trying to say. When you start trying to control, like Milo Yiannopoulos, whatever he is, he's a Jewish gay guy, and that does make sense in context because people call him a homophobe. He's gay. People call him a racist. He's a Jew, and he says he likes black dick. I don't. That's weird, but that's what he says. So how can you call him a
He's a racist Jew that likes black dick.
So how can you call him a homophobic racist? You know what I mean? Like it's really weird. But anyway, people start subscribing to this ideology, right? And it doesn't matter if it's left or right. But right now what's going on is the leftist protests. And a lot of what's going on like in Berkeley with Milo when he went to talk, he went to speak. He went to talk at a campus that invited him to speak. They protested so violently and destroyed $100,000 worth of around Berkeley.
Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, well, not just that, but But that's the same kind
protesters
of movement.
in
That's
general.
the same kind of movement.
It's crazy because I don't even know if people really believe in some of the things I think some people just want something to do.
Well,
Mostly
exactly.
people just want something to do.
And it's people that are uneducated, and they see a group of people,
and they're like,
and they join in the herd of people because they're like,
sheeple.
what they're doing is right. I should go do that. They don't know why they're doing it. You go ask these people, why are you protesting this guy? They'll say, because he's a racist. How is he a racist? How is he a racist?
They really need to be real and just say it's fucking
and
fun.
I'm not a Trump. I'm not like a huge Trump fanatic or anything.
It makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like you're doing something.
I'm not a huge Trump. I'm not a huge Trump fanatic, right?
Yeah, but you voted for him.
Yeah, I did.
I know.
Actually, because
I already knew that.
Because I didn't vote for
it's
because I was
my
I was actually
70-year-old
gonna
grandma voted for Trump because she didn't want Hillary to win.
Well, I was gonna vote for Jill Stein, but the Green Party wasn't gonna win. So I thought about Gary Johnson. He wasn't, and he went crazy with that whole.
I've tried to rationalize voting, but it's just too hard for me.
Well,
it's kind of like just as hard for me to vote as it is for me to believe.
I used to believe.
That's
a whole different thing we can get into.
I'm connecting both of them. We're going kicking politics and religion in one fucking sentence.
Right. We can get into that some other time.
In God we
trust. Now, what God are you talking about?
The sun god.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, which one's that?
Hallelujah. Oh, hold on, that's mixed.
We're going for like...
I'm actually doing what George Harrison did 40 years ago. He has a song where he's like, it sounds like he's talking about believing.
Is it bad I thought about George Michael when you said that?
I never even knew about George Michael until he died.
Fuck.
But George Harrison died in 2004, and it was before the internet, and everyone was tripping.
So what? So you're an atheist?
No, I'm an anti-atheist.
So what does that mean?
It's the antithesis
of atheist.
Yeah.
So you hate the belief in nothing?
No, I'm just kidding.
You hate nihilists?
I'm literally. I know I hate Nietzscheans.
Oh yeah, well Nietzsche was.
I don't hate Nietzsche.
I was gonna say Nietzsche is very misunderstood. So.
You
know when he said God is dead, that's not the complete.
I don't
quote.
feel like I have to fucking have any opinion on anything. Like,
You don't have to.
I don't feel like I need.
No,
like,
you don't have to. So you're just undecided.
Not even undecided. I'm decided.
You're just existing in a world.
Well, that's still being undecided.
My belief. I told you my belief. My belief is the ignorance that no one knows nothing.
Nobody.
That allows me to have some kind of happiness. Having some kind of happiness is, I think, why people subscribe to religions.
So what you're saying?
So everybody's wrong.
Nope.
So
everybody's right.
Well, what you're kind of saying is nobody knows enough in anything to be completely right or wrong.
Wrong.
Really? How?
I'm saying it's wrong because what I'm actually saying is I just escape reality and I act like it doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, but that's because you don't know enough about a reality to know that it exists.
Did you feel the quietness that fucking seeped over like 5 seconds ago? It just fucking. Woo.
It was like, yeah, I know, it was weird. It was like a feeling.
It was
like
more
my
than
hair
just
stood
quietness.
up on my arm.
It was fucking a real
like
feeling.
The hairs on my arm stood up.
That's good though. That's actually fucking good. And I don't know, like when I said wrong, like what I'm doing right now is deflecting.
It seems like
I'm gonna project it to me and like not just to me. I'm gonna project it to like things that I need to work on because that's what I believe in. I believe in me being alive right now because if I'm not alive right now, then I'm dead and I can't believe in anything.
Well, what do you believe about consciousness?
I believe it goes away when you're dead.
Well, yeah, but what do you believe about it? Do you believe it's real?
Of course it is.
So you're not a materialist.
You mean that I believe that robots can have conscience eventually.
I don't really believe. I don't think I believe that.
That's a hard subject.
I don't believe that because that's
like
a very projected.
Look at us though. Look at us. 4 billion years ago.
We're not robots though.
Just because.
How do you know?
Just because life. We
are
robots.
You're gonna go with the computer simulation.
Have you ever looked at the coral reef? The coral reef explains like all these the reasons why we even evolved these organs.
Yeah.
It explains like why crabs do this, whatever. Like that's just another part of an organ, and it pushes organs to beat each other. And like we have all these things that fucking just combine, and eventually that makes us feel alive. And I think you can make a robot feel alive if you know the right knowledge.
But it's not the same thing because
it feels like it's not. It feels like it's just
it's not
artificial. It feels like it's like it's just imitating what we. It feels. You make a baby. Is that just imitating? I don't know.
That's not the same argument though. That's not the same argument, though.
It leads to it. I actually skipped a bunch of steps in between it.
Okay, that's not the same argument, though, because biology is not the same argument as creating something from machinery. You know what I mean?
You can create biology from machinery. You can create biological machines.
You can grow babies in petri dishes.
Have they successfully done that?
That's what I'm not saying now. I'm saying 10,000 years from now.
A human from a petri dish that we know of that has been functional?
Okay, it gets implanted into a uterus after it's fertilized.
Well, and then it becomes
the way things are going. Eventually, I think.
But that's still a moot argument. What I'm saying is,
have you seen Black Mirror? First of all,
yeah, I have. But
oh my fucking god, dude!
It's an awesome show. It's an amazing show.
That's even better than Dexter. This show.
Oh, it's great. I don't know.
This show literally. You ever done acid before and you had a bad trip?
I've never done acid.
Okay, well, then you can't relate to the bad trip.
Oh, I can relate to a bad trip because. This sounds stupid to you, but when I smoke marijuana, like really good marijuana, it gives me...
I'm leading to this. Keep going.
It hits me with a... and it's not... I don't remember if it's sativa or indica. I don't remember which one gives you the head high. The euphoric, like... What's it called? It's...
Your brain starts thinking...
What's that kind of...
Couch is into couch. Sativa is...
In your head. Yeah, that's... Okay, so sativa's in my head. So that's what I'm thinking of. When I get... I just get so... Dude, that hits me so hard that I have a bad trip, and it affects me the complete wrong way. It makes me, I'm just like freaking the fuck out, like stressed
check
the fuck
this out. Like I fucking stayed up all night, fucking drinking coffee and smoking weed.
I like the drinking coffee and
Me
smoking
too.
weed.
and I
Cold coffee.
I didn't just stay up all night. I was doing research and I was editing video for Tonic Thoughts. I was like literally like just concentrated the whole night.
You just.
Like, the only reason I stayed up all night is because I was
just
fucking...
double fisting the fucking...
Not even double fisting it. Like I just fucking was... I was so in... I was so into what I was doing, like, the time just went by. Next thing I know, it's 7 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch an episode of Black Mirror before I go to bed.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, I fucking was up all night, drinking coffee, smoking weed, and...
Drinking coffee. Smoking weed. I've never heard anyone say that in that order. That's awesome.
That's fucking dopamine and fucking anandamide in your brains. Those neurochemicals that weed and coffee fucking produce.
Dude, that's awesome.
But
so you weren't already manic or something?
No, anandamide is marijuana.
Really?
And dopamine is like the serotonin and dopamines are like the chemicals that will come from like drinking coffee.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But I decided to watch an episode of Black Mirror. I thought I could do it before I went to bed. I watched this episode. It was where the guy fries his brain from going into like a near thing, and like it was all in like 5 seconds. I literally felt like I was having a bad trip on acid.
Fuck.
Like, it literally sent me into a bad trip. I couldn't fucking sleep. I was just like, I was questioning reality. Fucking my brain was just going off. I'm sure it wasn't just Black Mirror that sent me into that. I'm sure it was up all night.
Drinking coffee and smoking weed.
But like still though, like I think the most part of it was Up All Night and Black Mirror, like, because Up All Night has some kind of weird...
Oh, it's a weird effect on you, man.
Once you've been up for so long...
Your reality starts deconstructing.
It's
and,
not
it
just...
falls
Dude,
apart.
so true. It's not just lack of sleep, because I work nights. It's not just lack of sleep. It's being awake at night.
Your circadian system.
Right. And it's so crazy, because your brain starts, like, disassociating with its consciousness. And you start, like... It's almost like it's a euphoric, like... I know exactly what you're saying. It's almost like an out-of-body experience.
No, euphoria is supposed to feel good.
It does feel good. It's almost a lack of feeling.
Oh, no, it does not feel good.
Well,
it's
for
me, uncomfortable
it's
feeling.
It's the opposite.
Well, but euphoria doesn't...
when you start to disassociate, you feel like...
Well, when you think of good...
Disassociation.
Fucking weird.
Ego death.
Well, when you say feeling good, that's a subjective feeling of good, because when I have that when I have that feeling of disassociation, I think it feels great because it's a numbing feeling. It's like it's almost like you're... I'm going to just use soul, being pulled from your body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're almost observing...
I have panic and anxiety. I'm not saying disassociation. Oh. There was panic and anxiety.
Oh, okay. That's definitely not I get like
that's not comfortable at all.
I get like a detachment where I'm like existing outside of my body. It's really weird.
That's disassociation.
I start thinking about death.
Yeah.
And
that's euphoric for
One
me.
of my biggest fears is
I
death.
like it.
And it's
Really?
it's not even death so much. It's
That's
like
not that it's uncommon.
when I start thinking about death, it like leads to other things that just like nothing
you know,
matters.
You know what you
fucking,
do? Well,
this
that's
doesn't
nihilism.
matter.
That's nihilism.
Like, everything is just like
yeah, that's nihilism.
Nihilism is a part of my psychology.
Yeah, and that's
I
bad.
don't like it.
That's neuroticism.
I
yeah,
hate
that's
it.
not good.
It hurts me and it affects
no,
me.
it affected me for so many years.
I can't do acid or mushrooms because of it because
you know
I go into that.
Do you know how I fixed my?
It's cool you named it.
Do you know how I fixed my nihilism? Well, I don't want to say fixed it, but you know how I alleviated it in a way?
Yeah.
Is meditation. It sounds really weird.
Oh, dude,
now we're right back where we started.
No, it is. It really is
thing.
because
full circle.
mindful meditation.
I full circle. I can rap at the end of this.
When you start right when it's Ouroboros full circle.
It goes with alleviation.
Okay, right. So when you start getting those nihilistic thoughts of where nothing matters, well, really, when you start saying nothing matters, that is being a materialist and saying
everything matters as though it doesn't matter. It's
but then you start you kind of start believing that your conscience doesn't matter. You know, your conscience doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then you go down a fucking this horrible spiral.
Why am I here? Well, why does it matter what I do? And when you start going down that route, this is what Nietzsche talked about.
This is literally the most horrible feeling I've ever felt. When
you talk about Nietzsche, this is what Nietzsche talked about. When you hear the quote, "God is dead, and we have killed him," that's the second part of that. And then he goes on a little bit. But what he means is, when you make thinking, and this is a Jordan Peterson thing, so I'm going to butcher it a little bit. But when you make thinking your God, thinking is not the most important thing you can do. Not even close. It's not even close. Because thinking makes itself so important that you think yourself into a corner. And when you think yourself into a corner, you start thinking like you're talking about. You start being nihilistic. Mm-hmm. You start thinking nothing matters. You start thinking that you have no purpose. That's because you're thinking. Now, when you mindfully meditate, you're taking away your thinking. Because you don't have to think.
You don't take away. You just.
Yes, you do. You do. Because you don't always think. That's not true that you always think. It's not true. It's not true that you always think. When you take away your thinking and you concentrate, you're almost listening to your body. When you're listening, you're not thinking. It's a whole different process of your brain.
When you're in flow state, you're not like consciously thinking.
Well, you're still not thinking because you're not accessing that part of your brain. But thinking means you're consciously accessing that part of your brain. You know what I mean?
Which is
so.
It's cool you point to the front because that's where
your frontal cortex, right? So. Whenever you're thinking, I'm not a neuroscientist at all, so I'm not.
That's actually one of the fields I think I could go into. Like,
I would love to, but I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I am.
I know a lot about it. Yeah, I'd love to be like the amygdala.
But I'm going from discussions with people that that have studied that. And when you're thinking, you can think yourself into a corner. But when you're listening, which is what I believe you do when you mindfully meditate, is you're listening to your body. You're listening to your you're concentrating on what is actually happening. And you're paying attention. When you're paying attention, you're not thinking. And when you pay attention, I do, maybe not you, but I realize that life does have purpose. And when you're paying attention to it.
When people say I have a lack of sleep, I think is when I feel that life.
Exactly, and when people start thinking that things don't have a purpose, that's exactly what's wrong. Is because they think it doesn't have a purpose. They're not paying attention to everything.
People just need more sleep.
Like if I sit here and think myself into a corner, I can sit here easily and think myself into a corner where I don't think anything matters. But when I pay attention to what I have, when I have my son, when I have my health, and who I have around me, and what I have, I realize that things do matter, and things.
It really is, yeah.
Matter. And I'm not thinking; I'm paying attention to what I have.
Do you know how easy it is for me? The reason I slip into that nihilistic fucking mind state is because it's easy for me because I literally separate myself from family. You're an intellectual. From people. I separate myself, and I'm always like I isolate myself. Well, isolation leads to nihilism.
Well, you're an intellectual, and that and I'm.
I just learned what nihilism was, and I'm already saying fucking things about it.
Well, I'm not just. Well, I'm a.
But what I'm saying,
I was a subscribed nihilist for 25 years, so or 27 years almost. So I know what you're talking about because I did it every single night, every single second, almost of every single day. From a young age, from when my consciousness started clicking, whatever age that is, like 8 or 9. I started thinking that I had no purpose to exist, and that's a horrible way to think.
Mine was around 12, 11, I think.
Right, and it starts so young because you.
That's when I started getting depressed.
Because you're an introverted person.
Did you live in Hawthorne when you were 8?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I lived in Hawthorne when I was 11.
Did you?
Hawthorne makes you go through nihilistic fucking
They must.
thoughts.
The fucking Section 8 fucking housing and independence must fuck your brain up.
As a kid, it fucks
Now
you
we
up.
know what nihilism comes from.
Hawthorne.
But let's just say,
Poverty.
But
yeah, poverty. That's
but
the
have
word.
you ever? Okay, here's something. Have you ever looked at people that they have a lower IQ, and they're really happy? They're really fucking happy, right?
It's bliss.
Well.
That's what I was going on. Like
that's because
my
they
religion
don't.
is bliss.
That's because they don't. That's because
I
they
just
don't.
made that earlier, by the
And
way.
people
They don't
say
pay enough attention.
They don't. Not that they don't pay attention. They actually pay a lot of attention. That's why they don't. That's why they're so happy, because they pay attention to things that are going on at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just think the whole time. They
Yeah.
don't think themselves
That
into a
is part
corner.
of it, yeah.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is.
Not even part of it, exactly.
Yeah, because if those people don't have the wherewithal to think about what's going on. They don't sit there and I've thought about
it's
this.
not even that they don't have.
And it's
I
so
think they
weird
can
that you
get
say
woke.
that you
They
thought
can-
about this.
They can get shook.
You thought about someone else not thinking like you. That's so weird to say. But you think about. I thought about this. People sometimes do not think about the same things as you. They don't think all the time. They don't think that often, really. You don't have to think to be happy.
That's why it's easy to be.
Why can animals be happy?
To make
they don't
money.
think. Animals don't think. They pay attention, and they react. They don't think. They don't think like we do. They don't think about their consciousness.
I don't know. I should probably get some dog Xanax from Marsha because she'd be stressing out, dude.
Well, they stress out, but it's for immediate things. They don't
Yeah.
stress out for existential reasons like we do. You know what I mean? Like
How are they gonna pay?
Marsha.
Yeah, they don't.
Rent.
Yeah, when am I gonna get my next bone? Like is it gonna be next month? Like they just think about right now. Hey, my ass. Like she's. Well,
I want to go for a car ride.
wherever the dog is right now, she's probably like, hey, I'm lying down.
She
I feel
finally
good.
went away.
Because we're like start talking about human shit. She's like,
Fucking
but you get what I'm
shit.
saying, like, but dogs don't subscribe to the same kinds. Though their brains aren't built like ours, they can't think like we can because our brains have evolved from the bottom up. They haven't come the same distance we have evolutionarily.
They don't have a prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, so they can't even think.
Yeah.
So what they do is they feel and they observe. That doesn't mean they're not intelligent at all. But
Did you know that we evolved a special part in our brains that no other mammal has? But did you also know whales also evolved a special part, and whales and dolphins also evolved a special part in their brain that no one has either, not even us humans. So they're fucking smart as fuck. Like whales and dolphins, we underestimate the way they.
oh yeah,
We, like I don't even think all of us do, or a lot of people do anymore. I think a lot of people are coming to that understanding, but I still feel like the majority,
dolphins are
They're
it's pretty
intelligent.
well known that dolphins are fucking.
like if we had another intelligent species on this planet, it would be dolphins and
Can
well, you gotta
dolphins
go with
do
chimps
sign
too.
language?
You gotta go with
I
chimps.
would say chimps, but like
chimps are really smart.
dolphins. I think are even like on a human level. Like I
don't know,
I just
chimps-
don't think they have arms. Like they
Chimps-
can't do. They don't
chimps
have
are-
arms.
Dude, there's chimps. Have you ever watched the documentaries on like Jane Goodall studies and stuff, and like the chimp studies on like you can even see them on Netflix. There are chimps that are specialized to like crack nuts with certain tools that other chimps
Yeah.
can't do. Chimps are fucking smart, man.
They are really.
and
for real.
and they gang up.
you can talk to.
They're tribal like humans are. They get in little groups and they know. They don't even know how to count. That's another weird thing. They don't know how to count because they don't know what counting is.
That was
But they can look at a group of another group of chimps that are hostile, and they know whether they can defeat them or not. Either they can project whether they can defeat them or not. They don't know for a fact, but they have a good. They rationalize they have a good chance of doing it.
Do both
Isn't
sides
that
feel like
weird?
they
Yeah,
have- they
but
can
they
win?
can't even count. So
if both sides can.
and
feel
that's
like
another
they can
thing.
win, then counting has nothing to do with it.
Well, it does. They're counting without counting.
You're saying that, but if both sides feel that way, then the
Well, they
and the
don't. They
people on the
don't. They
smaller
don't though.
numbers-
They don't though.
only one side.
Because the
feels that way?
chimps with smaller numbers, most of the times they'll pull out of the fight because they realize that they will get killed if they stay in that fight. If they even
That's what I was
initiate that
getting
fight.
at, yeah.
Yeah, so they really don't. They can tell kind of by looking at the size of the pack of the chimpanzees they're facing, and it's a real fast moving pack. So they got to be really observant. So they're so observant that they can tell that, but they really can't even count. They don't understand what 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? They don't understand how to actually count.
Do you think monkeys can meditate?
I don't know.
I think if
you
they
got
had,
me there. I don't know.
if somebody
I don't know
set
at
the
all.
example and sat down with,
It wasn't about you knowing. It was just about thinking about it.
I don't know.
Like, what if a monkey fucking like?
What if they do? What
Like,
if what if they
maybe they
can?
can.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that means they can probably grow their.
They're not
conscious-
that much different than us, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they're what 98.6% like us, or 99.
Well, that's a percentage. Like a banana is
Yeah,
like only
it's like
90
it's
whatever.
like DNA. It's like they're fundamentally like us, but not when it comes down. I mean, but still, even their hierarchies and everything almost. I mean, they line up very closely with ours. Like, so they're the most like us that any other animal is, and they're mammals too. So it's very interesting. Chimps are interesting.
They are really interesting beings.
And if you coddle them too much, like if you like try to protect them to put them back in the wild, you can do them a disservice because, like, they watched this mother of a chimp raise the chimp. One chimp out of all of her children, she coddled him too much. She breastfed him too long. He started getting too attached to her. She ended up dying. This chimp was so weak, he couldn't go out on his own, and he was way past the age where he would usually go on his own and become, trying to become an alpha male or whatever.
Yeah.
That he actually died.
You can see that with people.
He died when she died.
Like
But isn't that crazy?
He
died when she died. Like a week after she died.
I might edit this out, but my uncle has lived with my grandma forever, and
he's afraid of the world, probably.
Codependency.
I just found out recently, it was hidden from me, that he has slightly mild retardation.
I actually knew you were gonna say that somehow.
I never knew that until recently, but it made sense as soon as everyone told me. And like he's been living with her for forever. Well, recently she lost her job or whatever she was getting paid on, and she moved in with my other uncle. And my uncle was the uncle that was living with her. Went to the hospital for some fucking diabetic stuff or whatever. Some bad stuff. But she moved in with my uncle. My other uncle wasn't gonna let him stay with him either. And like so now like he's just homeless and whatever.
Oh, so he's out of the house now.
He's at
shit
and stuff like that. Like not even just a house. Like it's like a home.
He doesn't have anywhere. Well, yeah. I mean,
he does stay some shelter.
Home is kind of
he stays at a shelter.
That's his home now, kind of.
And like it's kind of the same way. Like as soon as she was not able to whatever
to take care of him,
he just broke down.
He was already breaking down before it was crazy because his fucking organs broke down like a month before shit happened with her. Like it was crazy. It's probably really, like a symbiotic fucking thing.
It's really weird how they do that because there's this very strong connection I believe has been proven. I can't bring up any exact links or anything because I'm sitting here, but that if something like your mind dictates a lot of your health. And just your thoughts and your level of stress affects your inflammation and the health of your organs.
People grow up around like pessimistic thoughts, like they think that's normal.
Right. I grew up in a horrible, and I don't want to say that because I don't want to incriminate myself or like talk about things that someone will see that I don't want to. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to get into all that. But you can grow up in a place that you can go through things that nurture you into a mindset that you wouldn't naturally be in. You know what I mean? I believe that's true.
You become a product of your environment.
Just like with meditation changes your brain. You can change your brain in other ways.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten to this mindful meditation.
I've been trying to get into it. Like, so it's cool because I'm about to make us not go into it some more. But
can I piss real quick? Can I piss?
It's cool because...
Can I take a piss real quick?
Yeah, go take a piss.
I'm gonna go piss. I've been waiting I've been like holding my crotch on camera like...
I didn't even notice it. I did not notice it.
I was trying not to, but I had to hold it literally because I had to piss. Where's the bathroom at? Oh, right here.
You got it. It sucks we drank all the whatever. I don't want to call it beer because it was grapefruit.
And passion fruit.
Oh shit! I got some stuff in here. I don't know why I set that down. It was only had this much left though.
Oh, I gave him mine. I took like 3 drinks off of it.
Well, yeah, I don't even know. It's crazy how the way talking goes. If you're actually like intentionally engaging into a conversation, it can go on for hours.
Yeah, he likes to talk.
Me too. And that's exactly what I was going to get into in this next part, but I was gonna wait for him to get back. For I've been working on annoying things, like things that I'm annoying about.
Who says that you're annoying? You or other people?
I'm gathering data.
Okay, so you're getting some criticism.
I asked a question on Facebook, like, what do you find annoying? Just to see what everyone would say. And I was trying to, like, analyze from that things that I might be doing.
You should embrace yourself. And if other people don't like you, that's their problem.
That's part of my annoying video that I'm going to be doing. I'm gonna like that's gonna be one segment in the video. Like, yeah, you should also work on yourself. Like, if you know that your certain things that you do could be possibly annoying. Like, one thing that I do is farting all the time.
Please don't. Oh my god.
Exactly. Like, there's things, and like, but also embrace yourself, because people, everyone literally has annoying traits, and the people that you let into your life are annoying traits that you kind of like allow.
You can accept.
You can allow, and like, and it's also like the less annoying you'll be, the more you're allowable. So.
No, my boyfriend farts a lot, and it smells like he might have a medical condition.
Don't come in here like boyfriend.
They're like, no, it smells like a dead animal, and it doesn't bother him one bit, but it gags me out of the room, and I can't stand it, and it's disgusting. And he's like,
see, my farts.
Well, the key word you said is boyfriend.
My farts are not smell.
My man friend.
He's not a man, he's a boy.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay, man.
Tell him to come.
That's crazy that man friend is not a phrase.
Man friend.
I'm gonna start referring. Nick is my man friend.
Whoa.
Oh.
If he's your boyfriend, then Nick's your man friend. That means Nick's one up in him.
I'm an alpha. Well, I am an alpha, and if he wants to test that, he can. So fuck him. No, I don't know. I don't care.
It's on camera.
Oh yeah, don't get Nick started.
Huh?
I said don't get Nick started on my boyfriend.
Well, the only reason I'd get started is because you told me things.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
This next thing was about me working on things that I'm annoying about.
What?
Huh?
What was that?
Huh?
Can you say that louder? Was it 10 pickles?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's 10 pickles, not 2.
This is 10 pickles.
10, like
We're speaking live with 10 pickles.
Live with 10 pickles. and things that I'm talking about, what I was just talking about now, is things that I'm annoying about. Kind of like how I was trying to say something and you looked the other way. That could be an annoying trait on you.
Well, the only reason
I've been staring at the back of his head.
Well, the only reason I do that in here is because I'm in the middle and I'm trying to. She kind of pointed this out that I have to like bounce between you both.
Yes.
Which sounds kind of fucked up. Like I'm in the middle of a thing.
Conversation.
Go ahead. I was holding my breath because I was just doing it. It might be an annoying thing that I do. But there's things that I'm working on being annoying, but there's also like. There's 2 things I'm working on. Is also being real, and like if you're doing something, I want to be able to point that. It's hard to do that. It's really hard to fucking be real sometimes. For me at least. Like
really?
Like
what do you mean?
Like pointing out an annoying trait of yours that you might be doing.
Oh no, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's how you grow.
Well, it depends on what you mean by.
I think for people to fucking do that because they think they'll offend someone.
It depends on what you mean by being real, because I can see annoying traits of people. But unless
being real in a polite way, I guess.
But they affect me. If they don't affect me in a way that I see it beneficial for me to point it out, then I don't see a point in pointing it out. You know what I mean?
If you're just saying it to be an asshole.
If you're just saying it just because you want to point out everything negative in someone, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's not the point. Like you shouldn't be pointing out the negatives. If you're gonna point out a negative, you need to have an intention.
But if you said, "Hey,"
hating.
But if you said, "Hey, I keep turning around like this," hey. That's a valid observation.
I've looked at the back
that's
of your
not an
head
asshole
for
thing
most
at all
of
to
this
say to me. I look at it as a way, hey, maybe I do that, but then I was like, hey, you know what? I have these 2 beautiful people around me, so
that's great. And one of the things I was talking about that I'm annoying with that I've been working on this whole conversation since this began. You guys didn't know it. Since this began, I've been working on this. Is shutting my fucking mouth and listening.
Listening's hard.
Like that's hard for me.
You wait to talk.
And
well, not you.
I always try to interrupt, and I always try to do that, and like keep talking. And I realize it's something I could work on, because the more you shut up and listen, the more you fucking understand and can participate in the. It's crazy because like someone will be talking, and like you'll get an idea in your head. It'll remind you of something, and you'll want to jump in and say something. That's normal. That's part of a conversation. But I think I need to work on that, because I think if I just calm that fucking urge to fucking jump in and say something and just continue to listen, it might just potentially be more beneficial. And
that's actually, you're arguing for me almost, because when you have something you want to say and you're waiting to say it, that means you're not
paying attention.
You're not actually listening,
and it's hard. That's something I do all the fucking time.
No, it's not. You're not the only one. I think everyone does it.
Yeah, and it's something you can train yourself with. I'm doing it right now.
I've been training myself for the last couple of years, and by no means am I where I want to be. Mm-hmm. But I find myself wanting to just jump at that person, and say something. But I'm like, I had to stop myself. I'm like, listen to what he's saying. Maybe he'll say something, and then if it's an important thought, if it's an important side that you have, it'll come back. to me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if I think it's that important, if it's that valid, it'll come back to me when I'm done listening. Or maybe something better will come to me if I listen to this person first. And that's why sometimes when people talk, you take a second and you're like, you think about it, and you're like, okay, then you respond. Because then you actually listen. And that's why I'm talking about listening versus thinking. When you're thinking and you're thinking you have something to say and you're waiting to say it, you're still thinking. When you're listening, you cut that part of your brain out. It's really weird. You mute it. It's gone.
When you're actually listening. And when you're trying to say something, you're just thinking the whole time.
Yeah, you're like jumping. You're ready to, and those words are coming at you, but you're not really absorbing what they're saying, or the metaphysics or the actual physical sound vibrations of what they're saying.
It's kind of like when you're trying to talk to a child when they're telling you nothing. You're trying to explain to a child something, and they just keep. My daughter does this when she talks about Pokemon, and I'm like, you need to clean up your room, and she's not listening to the words out of my mouth. She's just like, oh, I evolved my Pikachu. I'm like, can you stop talking about Pokemon and listen to me?
You say, hey, put your phone down, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sit down for a second, put your hands in your lap, calm down. Now listen to what I'm going to tell you, right?
I think where the annoying part comes from it is just like thinking that you're gonna forget what you're saying, and then like
you don't want to forget,
and like you're just focused on that, and like when I'm like sitting there, like something happens and I'm like, I want to say something but I also want to listen. It's just like you can't do both. You have to choose. You have to literally choose what you want to do. You either gotta fucking let that go or continue to listen, and that's the hardest part for me. I think like for me, because I have ADHD and I literally do like. Even listening is a fucking challenge for me. Like, I'll be listening, and I'll be like, okay, I'm listening.
And your thoughts
now I'm listening to I'm listening.
This keeps bringing us back to mindful meditation.
Yeah.
And okay. Let me kick this off with my
kick it off,
very
dude.
Unenlightened viewpoint of meditation.
After you kick this off, let me talk about.
And you might have more than me. You probably will have more than me.
Kick this off, and then I'm going to talk about mindfulness meditation and ADHD after you get done.
Okay, so when we go into mindful or mindfulness meditation, mindfulness is the process of taking what is actually happening. Not like when you have anger, the anger happens, right? Mm-hmm. But when you start
feeling it,
when you start dwelling on the feeling,
knowing
that
and understanding why you're having it.
That's not being mindful. When you're mindful, you notice things. You're paying attention. You're paying attention to what's actually happening. So mindfulness meditation for me, which has helped me tremendously, and I've only been doing it a couple weeks, and the fact that it's helped me this much in a couple weeks, and that it's actually
fucking amazing.
It's an amazing thing, and I was really skeptical about it. It's a euphoric feeling, and it's like.
Did you read that book?
No, I've read a little bit of it. I have like 6 books I'm reading right now, so I'm
nice.
reading I've read like 15 pages of it.
That's cool.
So it's like you're talking about of self-observation,
which is mindfulness in a way.
Red Hawk or something. Mm-hmm. Is that who it is?
Yep, yeah. That's exactly right.
Okay, so when I mindfully meditate, I like to I'll just do it because there's a camera here. So when I mindfully meditate, I sit on my couch. Some people have like a little mat they sit on. I just do it on my couch or in my car.
If you can be comfortable.
And they say to put your hands on your knees, but you don't have to. I kind of just like let my hands free and let them kind of like do whatever they want.
If they're like in a specific spot, my brain thinks too much about it.
Well, they say not to close. You don't have to close your eyes, but it's way easier for me if I close my eyes. So I'll start to.
I think I start off.
I'll close my eyes, or I won't close my eyes right off the bat. I'll put my hands down. I'll let them kind of just droop, and it's a weird feeling just letting your hands just sit there and just. And then I'll let my shoulders kind of fall.
Especially if you're always focused on your hands.
I'll keep my back straight, but I won't tighten, I won't sit like this because that's the opposite of what you want to do.
It tenses you up, yeah.
So I just stay loose, but I keep my back kind of straight, and then I relax. I put my head down a little bit. I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. And then when I do that, I start letting my brow.
Oh, dude.
I start letting my brow just relax. I can feel my face tense. I let my face relax, and then I start letting my jaw relax, my neck. And then I just relax.
You go through your body.
And then I start relaxing piece by piece. I can feel the tensity, and I'm like, I just keep relaxing, and I just let it go as much as I can, because you're never gonna absolutely be relaxed. It's just not.
This is a good way to start the meditation. It's just feeling each physical part, and then you can go into.
And then when I start breathing, I just start breathing, and I don't breathe extremely deep, or exhale extremely deeply, but I do it. I just focus on the breathing, and I just keep focusing on the breathing, and really that's all I have to do.
Every time your
my
thoughts go off
will trail.
Yeah.
And you can't punish yourself for that because it's going to happen.
You got to be accepting of it.
You have to
if
think,
you punish
hey,
yourself, it's going to be harder.
We know what you do is you realize your thoughts are trailing. You bring it back.
Yeah.
You bring it back to the breathing. And what I found helps for the breathing is when you breathe in, just give it a designation like a 1, 2, something simple. A, B, something simple. So 1, breathing in, then 2, you're out. And you get this like euphoric like feeling over your body. I don't know if it's just me, but it's just this feeling I get in my body, in my everything I feel. And nothing makes me feel like that except for some strange moments, where you get that feeling. But it's hard to describe unless you do it. But then I get that feeling, and then I get into a state where my thoughts are just going wild. But I'm also concentrating on my breathing. But I'm concentrating on this breathing though. Concentrate on this, but it feels like I'm almost sleeping. It's really weird. And then when I set an alarm because I'll get so deep into this that it's like I have to be pulled out of it.
I want to set an alarm because I don't know if I don't set an alarm, then I'll be like I'll be thinking about like
how long have I been sitting here?
Well, and when this alarm comes off, I come out of it feels like I'm waking up from actual sleeping, and I'm not asleep.
Too, yeah.
And
I get this I get goosebumps. I'm getting them right now. Dude, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now thinking about it because I get these goosebumps and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And it's not just me talking it up; it's that I've done it, and I was really skeptical. I was like, fucking meditation bullshit. But I've been doing it.
It's fucking training your brain. It's literally exercising your mind.
It's been proven to increase the gray matter in your brain, build your cortex. It's been proven to physically change your brain. Why else? What reason is there to not do it if it takes 10 minutes a day?
All right, so let me speak on some things. Okay, so sometimes like I used to meditate a lot a year or two ago, and I started again whenever the fuck I started again. And whenever the fuck I started again, just because my brain is so ADHD, so fucking crazy, like, I couldn't even go 1 second without my fucking thoughts trailing off. And, like, it was funny because meditation is supposed to calm you down, but it was frustrating me. It was
when
pissing
you
me
have,
off.
like, racing thoughts.
Because you want to think.
You
want to think.
And, like, it's crazy. The more you do it, it's just, like, the more you exercise, the more weight you can lift. The more you meditate, the longer you can go without those trailing thoughts because you're literally training your brain from being... From trailing off on all these crazy thoughts that it usually does all the time. Like, your brain is just, as soon as you wake up, just thinking about things. And, like, you're literally...
And stressing.
You're literally...
Stressing,
too. You're training your brain to fucking just calm those stresses and just be here, be now, and just, like, stay away from drifting off. But this is the thing, like, now I'm going to go into the thing about ADHD and meditation.
Can I get something in before you do that?
You can.
And when you were talking about... We're talking about meditation and concentrating on, what is actually happening. The thing about exercise, which I thought was cool, you included. For me, weightlifting, I'm not thinking.
It's a meditation.
I am meditating.
It is a meditation.
So
it is a
weird
meditation. It's literally
that I didn't realize that
until I started
meditate
and they don't realize it. Yeah.
Until I started realizing when you're doing something that you love, like when I play
flow. It's almost flow. Flow is meditating.
A flow state.
Like,
when I play a game that I'm really deeply into, when I'm exercising, when I'm writing
writing is definitely flow. Meditating, yeah,
but
it really goes
it's all
into
meditation, and it teaches you to hone. It teaches you to keep your brain focused on not just itself. If that makes sense.
So,
but yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you didn't.
But I just had to get the exercise thing in there.
I went to a psychiatrist, the ones that can also be a therapist and prescribe you drugs.
Yeah.
I went to one like a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I knew I was prescribed to Adderall when I was like 14, whatever. I knew I was prescribed, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into it. I hadn't been subscribed to it since then. And like I was going to go in there and just like I can tell him I had it before, I can get it. I know I can.
And just walk out,
And like so I went in there, told him and like I wasn't just going in there just like I kind of was, but I kind of wasn't cuz I can get this fucking legal methamphetamine and I can focus on what I'm trying to do because I had goals. I was trying to do stuff. And I was like, well, if I can get this legal methamphetamine, that could help push me and concentrate for it. And like I was thinking this like 3 years ago. And so I went to this psychiatrist. I paid him whatever the fuck money he wanted.
Whatever the fuck money he wanted. Whatever he said, I would just...
And I talked to him, but I was also curious. I was like, because I also didn't want to have just Adderall as the cure-all for fucking ADHD. And I asked him, and I was like, is there any other way, any other thing? He was like, nope, Adderall is the only thing that's fucking proven. Little did I know, I hadn't really started meditating that much by then. And like meditation literally can help people with fucking
more than Adderall.
More than Adderall with ADHD. Like people don't even know this.
More than Adderall.
It literally is fucking training your brain to do exactly what you feel when you're ADHD. When you're ADHD, you can't fucking focus on anything. When you're meditating,
you are focusing.
It teaches you how to focus.
You're focusing. It's so
people are so out of fucking touch.
Dude, it is so powerful.
Pee this whole time,
it is so.
Like you were
it is so powerful.
I'm the only one that doesn't have to pee.
You haven't meditated yet? Have you meditated? Like actually meditated, not like astral projected or something like that, but actually meditated.
I've done that before.
I know. You raise your eyebrows a lot. Like, at least you actually have eyebrows. Most girls don't know.
Thank you.
It looks good to see actual eyebrows every now and then. Maybe.
What do you mean? I have actual eyebrows.
Hair on your face that's
Yeah,
an
I do.
eyebrow? No, I said that's good. A lot of girls just draw it in completely.
I mean, I do.
Like, completely.
Oh, no. I have eyebrow hair still.
I mean, you probably do a little bit of...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just to fill it in, make it darker.
There's nothing wrong with that. But the people that just... Whoop, and then they start drawing it on.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
I have tried to meditate, but like he was saying, like racing thoughts, it's a problem.
But you bring it back. It's not. You think of it as a problem. It happens naturally. It will always happen.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I can't seem to stop.
It'll keep happening. But
and it's something I have to stick with.
Well, the
to
point
see
of
progress.
Yeah. Well, how long do you do it?
A couple weeks.
Well, yeah, but the thing about meditating is, it's not that you won't have those thoughts, because you will always have those thoughts. But the point of it is bringing.
I think the reason that
you don't want to fight it or punish yourself. Punishing yourself for those thoughts is a horrible thing. Horrible thing.
Tim Ferriss was saying something about meditating. Like when he first started, he thought it was all about trying to quiet your brain and trying to not think. And when he realized it wasn't about that, like when he realized he could just sit there and fucking literally, without trying to quiet his brain, just literally be conscious of the thoughts he was just having, and instead of trying to quiet them, just to fucking separate himself from those thoughts, but still let them happen. He realized like meditation became more beneficial that way. But before I get into this, I want to say one more thing about meditation, and I think we should wrap it up. There's some techniques. The breathing technique is one of the most common ones because it's the most simplest, and everyone has it. Everyone breathes. It literally, when you breathe into the center of yourself, you literally center yourself. Like I was having an anxiety attack on the road once, and like it was out of nowhere. I called my friend Jake, and fucking he told me to breathe, and as soon as I breathed,
you start thinking about your breath.
I wasn't even thinking about my breath, but it literally brought me into my seat. It brought me into the now. I wasn't thinking about all these thoughts. It brought me into my lungs. Like I just, as soon as I breathed, I was like, oh.
You're so concentrated on what's actually happening.
Right. That's why they say talk about your breathing, because it's literally what's happening.
And that's such a strong yet simple thing, because it comes across when you start hearing, you're like, focus on your breathing. That can't be helpful. But then you're like,
you center yourself.
You do it, and then you realize this helps in so many things. This helps me with so much listening, because it changed from what I used to do is just wait to talk all the time, just wait to talk, because I was just ready to be right. But now I don't have to be right, and I realize I don't have to be right, because if I listen to someone and they're right, I listen to them and I learn that they're right, and that's what people need to do. I think everyone could benefit. Not everyone, because there's some people with like medical issues that probably shouldn't meditate because they have some psychological.
I don't know. I would probably disagree with that.
I think they did some studies with people that are that have actual mental like disabilities.
True. I've had mental. I mean, I'm not saying I have mental disabilities, but I felt like.
Well, I
felt certain times in my life that I was experiencing those kind of mental disabilities.
Well, I can't talk.
And I couldn't fucking do nothing. Like I wouldn't want to meditate.
Well,
I wouldn't want to do shit.
Well, you can't specifically. I can't specifically name them, but like Sam Harris had a podcast on meditation, and there are times
I was just thinking about Sam Harris right before you said that.
Right. Well, and I like Sam Harris. He actually had a debate with Jordan.
I think
Peterson.
it's because of the things we were talking about. It's crazy because a lot of people will be like, "Hey, I was just about to say that," but usually it's just because it's based on the things that we were talking about, and everyone was leading up to that same time.
Well, we were both just like, "Hey, Sam Harris," you know. But you listen to that podcast with the meditation.
And I was thinking like he said on his meditation before you said Sam Harris. I was thinking like he said like literally doing acid allows you to experience a crazy person's mind.
DMT.
Psychosis.
You can be more fucking. You can fucking be more empathetic with people that go through that. just by doing those.
Psychologists used to do that because they wanted to feel. They don't do it anymore. They might.
Not all of them.
They might do it.
Yeah.
But I know Peterson does because he talked about it. Okay. He finally said that he did it. Now me,
what's wrong, Marcia?
Personally, I wouldn't do it because I don't want to have that feeling.
You want some right now? I mean, let's get some.
Yeah. Just give me a few hits.
Techniques. I wanted to get into techniques. I was like, there's breathing techniques, and there's also the chocolate technique, or the apple technique. You literally, when you're meditating, instead of breathing, you think of a fruit or you think of some food, think of pizza, and you literally bite into it. And you can
I've never tried that.
And it literally does think if you're tracing your brain, it literally reacts the same way.
Like you had a pizza in your
if you're really feeling it, and it allows you to get into it. It's like
I'm doing that tonight. I'm doing that when I get home.
There's one thing that I do that I've never heard from anybody, but like it's something that I did just to try. And it's literally taking the apple after you've taken a bite or whatever the fuck. You sit in your head and you try to rotate it. You try to rotate it
with
in your
hand
brain.
Or with your brain?
What do you
mean rotate it?
Like Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh, like you mean levitate it like
you're literally controlling it in your brain and it's going around your head.
Wow.
You have to think about it like it's right here.
Actually going around your head.
You have to imagine it behind your head. And imagine it the whole time. For a second, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do it at first, but imagining it after I got better at it,
that's crazy.
I could literally throw it around my head a little better. Like
that is awesome.
It's a technique I learned from one of the Chili Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's cool as fuck.
George Frascante or John Frascante.
That's cool as fuck. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna completely do that. That's fucking badass.
Yeah,
dude. It's just more focus.
It just adds you to fucking really get into
whatever. Dude, you're like stepping it up.
Yeah.
Are your eyes closed?
Mine are.
That's the difference between thinking and focusing. Thinking is not the same thing as paying attention.
And on that note, that's what I really wanted to end it with was just the apple and the chocolate or whatever the fuck, the pizza.
Dude,
I think of an apple because
just think about it. If I have to say anything in this podcast, thinking is not the same thing as paying attention.
It's just not.
It's not. And I actually think that paying attention is more important than thinking.
That's all Marsha does is pay attention.
Yeah, and look how good of a person she is.
She's a really good person. Oh my god, she's so good.
Right, and now, does she think? No. Does she need to think to be that way?
No, she doesn't.
No, look how great she is.
She just knows that it's right.
There you go. That we just proved that argument, that paying attention is better than thinking. No. Not to say that you shouldn't think ever.
Yeah,
but look at this cute little puppy that never meant anyone harm. She never thinks, and she's a sweetheart. And she's
she thinks that she's
probably
cute
never
enough.
stolen anyone's bank account information.
Has she ever stolen food from you?
She got in her first fight.
No, maybe she killed.
Yeah, she has.
She maybe killed a couple squirrels and ruined families, but not on purpose.
She got in her first fight last week
with another dog.
Yeah.
Oh, you sweet.
And I allowed it, and I felt so bad.
Did she win?
No, and I
oh.
She would.
Dalmatians aren't really the fighting type.
She's not even a fight. She's really just a.
She's a Why'd she fight?
She's a cuddly dog.
The other dog, they were just kicking it, and then like there's some growling, and they were just like.
I feel the need to include this.
And I was like, man, I was worried for your dog, and she was.
You have the sweetest dog I've ever met.
She really is she's not a fighter at all, and I don't even know why.
She's not timid about being sweet, but she's not aggressive either. She's just the perfect amount of sweet.
Ooh, there was a shadow walking up to me at a lake the other night.
A shadow?
Yeah, it was a shadow fucking coming out of nowhere. It was dark.
And your dog just like
I couldn't see it. It was like a mile, like.
But your dog.
Quarter mile. She started seeing it. She started barking. I looked. I was like, "What is he barking at?" It's a shadow. And like there was a shadow. I was like, "Oh fuck, it's a shadow." Gotta get my keys. Couldn't find my keys, and when I realized I couldn't find my keys, I was like, "Fuck that shadow."
They say a lot of what a dog is like is very representative of what the owner is like.
Well, that's probably me.
So you're a little sweetheart. Hey man, but seriously, it's been a really good time talking to you. And I'm
exactly
sure,
done
like
yet.
I said tonight, if you want to come by.
You going there right now?
I'm going there, yeah.
Let me check my phone. I'm gonna follow you.
And it's been fun talking with you too, even though you didn't as much as
I was busy focusing.
You could have, but I think I think that was a really good one. Once you get past the weirdness of the mics,
yeah,
it's like it's just natural, man. Like I said, every time we